Thanks for being at the Kinloch Fire Hall. It's polka time. We're going to get you started with the Jeff Molesko original right now. This one is the title cut from the DynaBrass live recording. Here's Chase on the vocal, those big city nights. I wanna walk by the river, the breeze in my hair, then stroll on till midnight without any care, with the girl that I love holding on to me tight, living a storybook life in those big city nights. Past my shoulder to see all the places I've been. Now it's so clear to me that this feeling I see is a place my journey begins. I wanna walk by the river, the breeze in my hand, stroll on to midnight without any pain, and the girl that I love holding on to me tight. Living a storybook life in those big city nights. Well, my mind got seen before. Now the lakes are taking in the rising sun. For the fire by the car, dancing through the fields now that the night has come. Let me show you some we go so long with the glory like a grand symphony. It's the song that they sing and they sing. Where I wanna be, I wanna walk by the river, the breeze in my hair, stroll up to this night without any care. The girl that I love holding on to me tight. Living a storybook life in the big city nights. City Nights. Thank you. Hey, we got another request in the send out for my good friend Big Dan in Marcia. And you know, DynaBrass played Big Dan's party several times. I played it 4 or 5 times with TPM back in the day. Nothing more fun than Big Dan's party. Seriously, the absolute best. Here we go, especially for Big Dan and Marcia, being friends, and together, you and I.
I wanna be with you. We can fly away up in the sky and in the blue. Kisses and hugs, with all kinds of love. This you and me, we fight for your stars above. Take your eyes, my you and me. Come take my heart, take me, I wanna be. Take me, take my heart, take me. So that the ocean, the spring will rise, stars are breaking out. Early through the heavens, that's why we'll always be together through all time. Whether you and I can stop the rain and make the sun shine, we'll see rainbows in the sky. Through the sun. There you go, medley of tunes off the DynaBrass live recording. Being friends and together, you and I. Thank you.
I'm older now.
All right, we're going to do, how about another Jeff Malechko original? Yeah, here's one going back to TPM. Back when we did the Welcome to Collinwood movie. This was actually on that movie soundtrack. One of my favorite TPM songs of all time. Here's the Jeff Malechko original for you right now. One entitled, You and Me. Here we go. Believe I found you, it's like a dream come true. And believe in love, you is mine. Smiles like the sunshine, bringing light upon my day. Sweet voice is a song that fills my heart. And for the first time, the future's new to me. I see you as my destiny. You and me, side by side, walking hand in hand. Nothing ever overcomes me. If I will stand right next to you and baby, every time I hold you, it's like I can renew all my fears and seem to go away. I give up everything I have to be at your side. Feel alone, feel here today. And for the first time, the future's here to me. I see you you and me, walking hand in hand. Nothing in the world becomes me. Goodbye to you, I will stand right next to you. And baby, what you feel for me. Love you and me. There you go, the Jeff Malechko original right there. One called You and Me. Thank you. I know. I'm going to send this one out especially for Holly. Well, that's my favorite niece. And I am her favorite uncle. I'm the best uncle, let me tell you. You can't beat Uncle Joe.
Just ask me.
I had to think about what I was doing here. All right, here we go for you. Another tune that's off of our 2020 Polkas CD. Well, especially for Holly. Here's one called Someday You'll Love Me.
Here we go.
Might be crazy, thinking you might love me, maybe. You're coming, overflowing, making the sorrow. Someday you love me, listening the stars. Someday you'll leave me, hold you in my heart. Someday you'll want me, just as much as I want. Someday you'll love me, I'll be the one. Someday you'll need me, all the come. Someday you'll love me, just as much as I love you. Just as much as I love available off of our 2020 Polkas recording, one called Someday You Love Me.
Everybody say thank you, Holly.
Thank you, Holly. Gosh, what do we do now?
Bitter end.
The bitter end? All right, we have a request for the bitter end. We'll send it out, especially for Walton, Megan, Noah, and Alina. Here with us from Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Of course, Dave and Bud have the polka celebration every Sunday morning. What a celebration it is. So what are we doing here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the bitter end. All right, well, let me get back to the beginning of the book, because somebody put it in as the bitter end in the deeds. So here we go for you. Another tune with Chase on the vocal, a Mike Costa original, The Bitter End.
The bitter end.
Is that like from the Gazinia family? Bud Yeah.
And also for Ben, right?
That's right. Here we go, the bitter end. Leave me down, go on your way, and take your love to a brighter day. I'll be here on my own. Don't think of me, don't hang up the phone. Yes, I won't change the way I feel. It's the open wound that never heals. So leave me now. You'll be fine. You might just see me from time to time. It's time to be. It's clear to see. We're not whirling destiny. On the way of the street. 'Cause it's you that you see. So don't you cry. Think of me. Wow, that was a lot of work. There you go, that's one called The Bitter End. Thank you. Call on me? Did I hear call on me? Chase, you good?
Chase is always good.
He's always good, that's right. That's a young Elvis right there. All right, we have a request for this one, another Jeff Molechko original Song of the Year in 2005 for the United States Polka Association. Here's one entitled Call on Me.
All right, we have a request for this next tune. It's off of our And the Road Begins CD. And we're going to feature Chris on the vocal this time around. This one is Air. Anybody remember the band Air Supply? Yeah. This is Air Supply Gone Polka. That's where Jeff got the idea for this song. Yep. It is an Air Supply tune, Gone Polka. Here we go, Chris on the vocal. Lonely is the night. Lonely is the night, there's no light shining through. Till you're in my arms, till you're here by my side. Lonely is the night. Lonely is the night, there's no light shining through. Till you're in my arms, till you're here by my side. Lonely is the night.
Alrighty, there you go. One called Lonely is the Night. Everybody having fun? Yeah! Are you ready for waltz time?
Yeah.
Alright, well let's get back to some more polka music, right? Keep going with the polkas. How about we do one called the Playboy polka? This one's short and sweet for sure. The old Eddie B classic, one called the Playboy Polka, available off of our And the Road Begins CD. By the way, we're getting thirsty.
Here we go.
Playboy polka.
Bartenders want some more tips.
Bartenders.
Oh, I've never played the word.
Oh, I have to call your name for you to come up? I can't just go, Richard, come on up.
Yeah.
Take Chase's mic.
And we're going to have Richie Coyce. Of course, you know him from the Polka
I said I
Festival
wouldn't let
Musicians,
this happen,
BCM,
right?
as well as many other bands out in the Western PA area for many years. He'll be joining in on some tunes
All right, here's
with the
Richie.
band.
This is Richie's signature song, right? The Lovely Girl polka. We don't normally play this. No, we don't normally play Lovely Girl, but, what else does Richie know? I mean, talk about a guy that has no idea what Focus is all about, right? I'll almost guarantee you that he's probably played 90% on every song in everybody's book. So what do you think, lovely girl?
Yuppie, what do you think?
What? All right. Well, it's the only one that we knew that he sings. You ready? All right, let's go. Proof Booze, Richie Boyce on the vocal.
Bartenders and WC. Let's do it. You're a lifesaver. Richie's just warmed up now.
You know, I've got the worst dry mouth right now. I've been talking for an hour. Nothing to drink. Thank you, Randy and Jankuya. Everybody raise your glasses, raise your drink. Hey!
I ain't got none, boobies.
DynaBrass, folks. Three more times. All right, well, let's see what the old clock on the phone says. Ooh, 6:01 already. Wow. Incredible. Well, we've got a few more tunes for you, certainly. Yeah, let's do that. You guys on a waltz? Is that what we're doing? No waltzers, right? Yeah, well, I had a couple of songs in mind, and then I just lost my mind. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm looking at the book, and it's like, what am I looking for? I have no idea what I'm even looking for.
Hey, Joe, how about all the girls?
What's the rock band?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We were all saving them.
You know what you guys sound like out there? All right, we're going to do one off of our, sorry for the pause here. I mean, we've been going at it, and it's all of a sudden my mind is gone. What can I say? All right, we're going to do Polka Time for you. This one off of the All-In recording. It's an original tune. I wrote the lyrics. Mike Costa put together the arrangement here. We'll send it out for all the girls in the house because this song it's really a love song. If you really listen to the words, it's a love song. All right? And it's called Nothing But Trouble.
2020.
The DynaBrass original, one called Nothing But Trouble. All right, I'd like to introduce all the guys in the band to you real quick here before we do our last couple of tunes to wrap up the afternoon here at the Kinloch Fire Hall. Has everybody had a good time? All right, well, we hope you had a lot of fun today because we certainly did performing for you. It's been a great afternoon. Of course, we love what we do, so that makes it easy, especially when we've got a crowd like you that supports us 100%. We appreciate it. Give yourselves a big round of applause. All right, real quickly, on my far left, from Rides Junction, Michigan, on accordion and vocals, put your hands together for Chris Henrich. From Chicago, Illinois, he's in his second tour with the DynaBrass. Kensington and vocals. Let's hear it for Bernie Barak the Third. And behind me on the drums from Fort Huron, Michigan. He's on his second tour with the DynaBrass as well. And he's a guy I know I can always count on. I always appreciate it very much. Put your hands together on drums, Mr. Paul Grimmy. this guy a big round of applause because all those vocals that he's done today or this weekend, it's his first time singing them all. He worked his butt off to be prepared to perform this weekend, and we all appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, from Perrysburg, Ohio, on trumpet and vocals, let's do it for Chase Kevin. Next to me on trumpet and vocals, he's also on at least his second tour, third tour. From New Norfolk, Michigan, on trumpet and vocals, let's hear it for Bob Mason. And ladies and gentlemen, the leader of the DynaBrass, Grammy-nominated, international superstar, your friend and mine, Mr. Joe Zaleski. Are y'all ready to have some fun? Yeah! Let's crank up the machine. Let's have some fun these last couple of tunes. Chase, show them what fun's all about. Some nights I stay up, dancing in my bathtub. Some nights I call it a drum. Sometimes I wish that my skin could a castle. Some nights I wish things fall off. But I still wake up, I still see what's wrong. The Lord, I still not sure what I stand for. What do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore. Sometimes I wish that this all would end, 'cause I could use some special change. And sometimes I'm scared you'll forget me again. Sometimes I always will. But I still wake up, I can see your face. Although I still not sure what I stand for. What do I stand for? What do I stand for? Some nights I don't know anymore. How's everybody doing? You guys are laughing, we're laughing. What are you guys laughing about? Same thing we're laughing about? All right, we've got time for one more. We had a request for this one. We did it a little bit earlier. It's a great one to end on. You can all play along. Everybody to your left, everybody to your right. Take one step forward, one step back. Let's dance all night. Everybody to the left, everybody to the right. Take one step forward, one step back. We're gonna dance all night. Now go to the left, now go to the right. Take one step forward, one step back. We're gonna dance all night. There you go. Thank you. One Cloud Dance All Night. That'll do it for this evening. We hope you had a great time. We certainly did. Give yourselves a big round of applause for coming out and staying around to the very end. Thank you. Thank you very much. You have been listening to the DynaBrass. Good night, everybody.